Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my little channel. Happy Friday to everyone. I hope you're all doing well today. Thank you for being here. Thank you yesterday, I believe, to all either 146 or 149 of my subscribers. Since my last video, I believe 2 or 3 weeks ago, there was 136, and I believe I gained about 10 new subscribers since then. So welcome, and I am appreciative of your presence, of your energy, and I thank you for being here. And the spirits thank you, because I do not do this for me. I do not get paid from YouTube. But you paying attention to them and the people I read, you keeping them in your memory and in your consciousness keeps them alive. It keeps them present, and the longer they're present here in the realm of our energy, the better chances they get of receiving justice or even the acknowledgement of what happened to them. Even if I read a case where justice was already served, but there's just a lot of elusiveness around their case. Sometimes they just want to speak even though they have received justice. Sometimes they just want their truth to be heard, and I lend a voice to those spirits. And so they thank you. So today I am going to be doing a quick little reading on Kendrick Johnson. I'm sure everybody on this channel is already familiar with that name and with the case. A young man from Valdosta, Georgia, who was found inside of a rolled up gym mat in his high school gym. He was a young black male, and the case was ruled an accidental death in Georgia by the FBI and by the state of Georgia multiple times. I believe that it was ruled that an accidental death twice. I know that the family went and got their own private investigator after receiving Kendrick's body from the funeral home and realizing that instead of organs, his body was stuffed with newspaper. Apparently this is customary for funeral homes to stuff void bodies with materials. However, the question was, why weren't his organs there? There are a lot of questions around his case. Why were his organs missing? Where are his organs? How did he end up in that mat? Apparently some people, so his family filed a lawsuit and lost against 36 people, including FBI agents, who is a father to, I believe, one of the 3 young men who were accused of harming Kendrick. These 3 young men were students that went to high school with him. They were white, and I believe one of their fathers is an FBI agent or someone who worked closely in law enforcement with this case. And so the family got their own private investigator and their own independent autopsy, where their autopsy findings was that Kendrick's death was a homicide because of bruising he had on his neck and possibly other areas of his body. Although they did lose their lawsuit in court, they ended up having to pay, I believe, $900,000 in fees to the people that they accused. And I am just here because one of my subscribers in the comments of another video of mine requested this reading. They requested that I read the Kendrick Johnson case. And if I don't have a particular case in mind that I want to read, I will honor requests. I am, I just like everybody else have heard of this case, but I've never read it, not even personally. When cases like this are so popular, like when they become so polarizing to people, I tend to not want to do readings on those because it's almost like, what can I lend to the conversation that hasn't already been spoken? And this conversation, this case has been read by multiple people. It's been talked about. It's been looked into. It's been armchair investigated. So much. It's so much energy, so much outside energy around it. So many outside energies pulling on Kendrick's energy that I usually just fall back because I feel like that person's energy is tired and they may not even have anything left. And I feel like, if everybody else has dug into these cases, there's no use in me doing it. There's no use in me disturbing this person's energy when all that they have to share has already been put out there. So like, I've never even considered reading this case publicly because it's been so publicized. You can find many readers on YouTube that have read this case, and I've never watched any other reader read it. I don't usually read other people's readings. However, this was requested. I have the time, and so I decided to do it. Usually when I prepare to read a case, I kind of like look at news clips and stuff around the case so I can get a general idea of it. And then usually I'll be able to pick up on things before I pull my cards out. And this one I didn't. I don't have an initial foundation to go on. It's not like I prepared myself to read this and then Kendrick's spirit stepped in and started speaking to me. That didn't happen. So this reading can go either way. I have no preconceived bias, not based on my own opinion and not even from my own spiritual opinion, because like I just said, I didn't get anything when I sat and watched a few clips from this case. I didn't get anything. So, I don't know how this reading is going to go. Usually I'll pull one card before I even come on camera to see if I should do the reading, if the spirit wants to speak to me. And that'll tell me that I need to go ahead and do the reading, but I didn't even do that for this case. Also, I uncovered a new gift of mine. So I do consider myself a medium first. You've heard me say before that these cards are my glasses. I use these to channel better, to kind of fine tune what I already see, smell, hear, and taste. But I also use these as a communication device. I'm communicating with a spirit, not necessarily reading the energy surrounding the situation, but most of the times I am in communication with a spirit. And so when I've been doing these readings, sometimes I do intentionally channel. Those videos are usually when you see my head cover, because I'm going into this, it's like a seance. I am conjuring up the spirit and I'm speaking with them. And other times I'm just trying to read the energy around the case, and if the spirit pops in, then it pops in. However, I found that I can call a person's spirit, dead or alive. I can call up your spirit and talk to your spirit, your higher self, your soul. I learned that doing cold case readings in my private time, the ones that I don't share. And I found that I just said, okay, it just hit me like I don't want to read this energy. I'm going to see if I can call up that person, and it worked. So that's what I'm going to do this time. I'm not going to ask to look at the circumstances surrounding the case first. First, I'm going to see if I can call up Kendrick. And if he shows up, he shows up. And if not, then I'll see if I can look at the energy surrounding his case. So I've already mixed up the cards, but I kind of want to mix them up again. I know you guys can't see me, but I'm just literally mixing up cards on my lap. All right, and shout out to daisygirlgems. She is a co-worker of mine at my 9 to 5, and she actually gifted me with this lapis lazuli. It's my favorite stone. True serum, you guys, lapis lazuli is my favorite gemstone. When I was little, it used to be pyrite. When I was little, I used to just love the fool's gold because it looked like gold. And I thought that, in my mind as a little girl, I thought that it would help me get rich. Who knew that was, my inherent spirituality that I carried with me over from previous lifetimes. But this was gifted by my Melanie. She goes by daisygirlgems on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. She custom made this and wrapped it for me. Melanie has only been wrapping jewelry for it'll be a year in July. One day I got the urge to pull a card for her. Sometimes I just get urges while I'm in conversations with people. Spirit will just tell me, pull a card for her. And I did, because she was talking about not knowing what she's good at in life, not knowing what her talents are. And so I pulled a card for her, and I told her that maybe I told her that I saw some kind of creative ability for her that she hadn't tapped into yet. And she mentioned that she had been toying with the idea of getting into wrapping jewelry. And so at our job, at the company we work for, we have gem mining. So I told her, grab a gemstone bag. I'm going to make an initial investment in your materials because I think that Spirit wants you to explore this. And so I purchased her first set of wire for her to wrap with. I took my obsidian out of my bra and I told her to go and make me a necklace. And she came back and made me a necklace. And from then on, she is now daisygirlgems. She has a contract with our employer where she sells her gems out of our gift shop. So she's legit now. And holler at her. I may try to put her information in the description box. So now that that's all said and done, let's see if Kendrick wants to talk to me. Alright, just give me a moment. May I see and speak to the energy, the spirit of Kendrick Johnson. I am calling the energy of Kendrick Johnson. Kendrick Johnson. Kendrick Johnson. Kendrick Johnson. I am calling the soul, the energy of Kendrick Johnson. From whatever realm his spirit was sent to, I'm asking for it to be retrieved for me. Allow me to speak to and see the spirit, the soul of Kendrick Johnson. Spirit, may I see and speak to the spirit of Kendrick Johnson. Kendrick Johnson, the young man who was killed in Valdosta at his high school. May I see and speak to the energy, the spirit, the soul of Kendrick. Kendrick Johnson, do you want to speak to me? Kendrick? Okay. A card flew out. I'm going to get it. It was the Two of Swords. What's on the bottom? Kendrick was in a fight. I'm kind of getting the impression that there was an offer made, an invitation. And he went with them. It's like they asked him to come somewhere. They asked him to meet them somewhere under a guise of something else. But then they had intentions on jumping him or fighting him. Like a setup. And I got that from the bottom of the deck, but the Two of Swords is what came out. I want to clarify this Two of Swords before I speak on what I see. Okay, alright. This Two of Swords is because Kendrick had no idea the injustice that was coming to him. Kendrick had no idea. He didn't know. He didn't know. He was blindsided. That's what I hear. I was blindsided. I had no idea what they really wanted to do to me. I had no idea. And if I did, I wouldn't have gone. I was blindsided. I had no idea. And if I did, I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have gone. I wouldn't have done it. I would like to see what that Ace of Wands is in reverse, Kendrick. Here's this fighting again on the bottom of the deck. Fighting, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, Temperance in reverse, Two of Wands in reverse, Justice in reverse. He had no idea. And they set him up to jump him. They set him up to jump him. I don't necessarily know if the intention was to kill him, but the intention was absolutely to jump him, beat him up, stuff him in that mat with his shoes. Nobody expected him to die. I think that's what it is. Okay. But I'm going to keep looking. You had no idea. What's the Seven of Pentacles in reverse? The Queen of Swords in reversed. The Knight of Swords in reversed. The Five of Cups in reverse. What's on the bottom? The Nine of Cups. There's a girl involved. There is a girl involved. What are you guys fighting about? Okay, alright, so listen. I wanted to clarify this fight because they were absolutely fighting. I want to clarify it. And I see that somebody was defenseless. Kendrick either didn't want to fight them. Kendrick didn't want to fight. They approached him with that. They were arguing, but Kendrick wasn't the aggressor. The Seven of Wands in reverse, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. They approached him about a girl. Their beef with him was about a girl. It was about a girl. That's what their beef with them was about, a girl. This argument. Told I would let go of the relationship. Ugh, that was gross. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but okay. Alright, so you guys want to know what I see in my cards. What this boils down to is jealousy over a girl. Ooh, alright. Alright, listen, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I just ran through all these cards and didn't even show you guys what I was doing, but lies and secrets are on the bottom. Lies and secrets that are being covered up, hidden, withheld. I like to say everybody that was accused in that lawsuit is guilty. The law enforcement allegedly are guilty. Let me also go on and say, before I say everything that I'm about to say, everything that I'm stating in this video is opinion. It is based on my metaphysical opinion, and metaphysical opinion has no basis in science and in fact yet. Shout out to Isabel Morant. She's an African witch doctor. And I would like to say that she taught me this new skill, whether she knows she taught me or not. She reads shells. And I talked to my ancestors about that, and then they showed me how to do it with my cards. So shout out to her, because whether she knows it or not, you have blessed me. And I left a comment on your video, one of your videos, telling you that I love you, I pray for you, and I do, because you don't even know how you've blessed me. And I love you as if I have met you. My soul does. And it probably has something to do with some ancestry I have. However, shout out to her, because she also gives this same disclaimer, and I like it, so I borrowed it from her. And that is that none of what I'm saying in my video is based on scientific fact. I did not investigate this case with any police force. I do not have any ties, links, communication, or anything to anyone involved in this case. Metaphysical science to me, well, metaphysical science is real. However, it has not been validated yet by the powers that be, by the scientific community yet. So nothing that I'm saying is fact. Everything is alleged, and it is for entertainment purposes. So please watch this video and be entertained. With that being said, all of them are allegedly guilty for what they are being accused of, and that is covering up the facts of this case. And the facts of this case, per what I saw in my cards, and I'll go back and I'll start with this cover up. I'll just leave this out so I can show you guys what I see, because I kind of just went through these cards, and I have to find a better way of angling my camera so you guys can see. But what I saw was there was a girl who apparently had been dealing with one of the boys who were accused, one of the white boys, and this same girl was also dealing with Kendrick. And what I haven't dug through the details is what it looked like she broke up with one boy to talk to the other one, to talk to Kendrick. I don't know if she broke up with him for Kendrick or if they broke up and she started talking to Kendrick. But the fact that this young man was black didn't make the fact that it didn't make things any better. That is where this young man's beef with Kendrick came from, and that is why they wanted to jump him. And after it was done and they realized that he was dead, this young man went to his father, whoever is the son of the law enforcement agent. That's the one, because I saw on the cards that he went to his father to help him, and his father had already told him a long time ago that this girl was trouble. But his father did with what a parent would do, and he covered this up for his son. So I have this because this is my information withheld card. So I want to look at what information is being withheld, what was covered up. I'll see if I can slow down so I can show you guys the cards, because I could just wrap this reading up right now, but you guys didn't get a chance to see what I saw that brought me to that conclusion. And I have a couple questions. Kendrick, what is this information that was being withheld? Cover up, okay. This just flew out of my hand. I'm going to pick it up as it was. This Empress in reverse. So I'm going to clarify the Ace of Pentacles before I say what I want to say. Here's this Five of Wands again. Give me a second, guys. He thought they were going to get back together. She had already moved on and lied about it, but he found out. I see the Three of Cups in reverse. I know I said I was going to stop doing this, guys, but I get carried away. This is so sad because it's over a girl. A little mangly white girl at that. No shade. I mean shade. All shade. This is the story of countless black men. Kendrick Johnson is the story of Emmett Till, is the story of, what is the young man that I read in Milwaukee? A little 18-year-old boy that got shot at in this white man's attic. It was the same thing. It's the same thing, because when I read that case, I saw that he was talking to this man's daughter. And this man who was racist found out, he saw his text messages in his daughter's phone. They had a party. This young man's friends invited him over there, knowing what was going to happen. Knowing that this girl's father wanted to do him harm because he found out that his daughter had been sneaking around and texting and talking to this big black boy. Just the idea of this big black football player ramming his big old mandingo and his white daughter enraged him. And that little girl, she is carrying around that truth. But she's scared of her father herself, because this isn't his first time. Anyways, this is the same thing. Same thing. Kendrick got killed behind a little white girl who broke up with her boyfriend. It was supposed to be a temporary breakup, but she was messing around with Kendrick, and the white boy find out. In his mind, by all intents and purposes, they were going to get back together. But then he find out that she had been messing with a little black boy, so they cornered him. They had an argument. Kendrick didn't want any parts of it. For one, he was outnumbered, and he didn't want to fight over this little girl. He wasn't really serious about her, which actually infuriated the white boys even more, because he loved his little girlfriend, and she's sneaking around with this little black dude who doesn't even like her like that, who probably just wants to hit her, stretch out her walls to where he can't fit it anymore. And no. They cornered him. They invited him somewhere into that gym. They had words. Kendrick was like, man, fuck y'all, man. I'm finna go. I see him turn to walk away and them attacking him. And they fought. Kendrick was outnumbered. They drug him to that mat. They dumped him in there. Placed the shoes in there. But then time went by. They went back in there after a while and realized that Kendrick was in there dead. And they freaked out. And then that boy went and told his father, who was furious. He was furious. Yes, he helped his son cover it up, but I can almost see his father slapping that son around. How could you be so fucking stupid, is what I hear. How can you be so fucking stupid? I told you about that girl. We could lose everything because of you. How could you be so stupid, is what I hear that father saying to his son. But he did what he had to do. Kendrick, what happened to your organs? Why were your organs removed? Because of the injuries. Because of the internal injuries. They took my organs out because of the injuries, the internal injuries. The medical examiner removed Kendrick's organs so that his cause of death, his real cause of death, wouldn't be found. But I'm going to pull a card to confirm that. Kendrick, were your organs removed so that your cause of death would not be confirmed because of the injuries to your organs? Kendrick, were your organs removed so that your cause of death would not be confirmed, your real cause of death? Yes. They wanted to keep that from his family. That he was killed, he was beat up. He didn't do this to himself. Okay. So his family knew that he was killed. They knew that he had been beat up. And they realized it. Now, is this the police, or is this the medical examiner, or is this the private investigator? Okay, all right. On the bottom it's saying, okay, so this Five of Pentacles in reverse, this is saying yes. This is saying that, to me, this is saying that the medical examiner made the decision. I hear made the decision. I wanted to think that he was asked or bribed or propositioned, but he made the decision. This is a good old boy system. He's friends with all of them. So what was the medical examiner who said, I'm going to remove his organs so that no one can determine his cause of death? They didn't have to ask him to do this. He was willing to do it for them. And once the family got his body back from the funeral home and they realized he didn't have any organs, they realized that the police and the authorities weren't going to help them. They realized then that this was, this is a big cover-up. Kendrick, I'm going to clarify that this was the medical examiner taking your organs out. Kendrick, were your organs taken out so that no one could confirm your cause of death? I'm clarifying this Five of Pentacles in reverse. Ace of Swords in reverse. Knight of Swords. Six of Swords. So nobody can come back asking questions. In between this Six of Swords, having to go back into and explain things that you've already, going back into hot water. This is just like we're in the clear, but because of this Knight of Swords not letting up with their questions and their inquiries, we're going back into hot water. We got to go back and re-explain what we tried to explain away. But this is lying and covering it up, confusion and lying and not speaking the truth behind this. So absolutely, his organs were taken out. The reason why Kendrick Johnson's organs are missing has nothing to do with organ trafficking, although, they may have, I doubt they even used his organs because they were injured. So they took out his organs so that his true cause of death wouldn't be able to be confirmed. Okay, because his organs would have told the truth about what happened to him, because they would have told the story of the injuries that he sustained internally. See, the case was closed. The case was closed successfully, but if they hadn't taken out his organs, the case was closed, and people were willing to accept that. Even though it didn't sit well with them, they were willing to accept it. But if they didn't take it out, they would have to circle back into this situation that they're trying to cover up. Keep getting this girl, all this over a girl, child. Kendrick, do you have anything else to say? I want to open up the floor for Kendrick because I want to tie this up. I'm actually surprised. I had no idea that any of this was going to show up. When people were throwing around the organ trafficking, I was like, well, that sounds plausible. What other reasons why they have to remove this black boy's organs? Because our organs are in demand. Africans, including African Americans, we are speaking about our genetic makeup. Africans, not only is the motherland abundant in resources, but even the people who inhabit the land are a part of the milk and honey that makes Africa the apple of the world's eye. It's not just the land that is rich in resources why everyone wants to colonize the land. It's also the people, which is why everyone wants to colonize black people. You know what I'm saying? It's because we are the resources. Our land is the resources. Africa is full of the land of milk and honey. Even its people are a part of the milk and honey of the land of Africa. And even our biological makeup, our biological resources are also a hot commodity. So it's not a wild conspiracy theory about organ trafficking, because we, black people, because of our genetic makeup, are a valuable resource. We have things that other people don't have. And we don't know just how resourceful we are, but other people do. This is why you wonder why the world hates you. If you knew what they knew about yourself, their hatred would be in vain, because we would be the most powerful people in the world. But they know what kind of power lies within us, even though we don't know. So they prey on us. If only we knew. If only we could know. And that just makes me want to start putting that a part of my weekly prayer requests, that we become aware of ourselves. The only way we'll survive. All right, Kendrick, do you have anything to say? Maybe that was Kendrick's message from the other side. Every time I do readings on dead people, there's this red bird. If you go back and watch my Naphtali Bennett video, this red herring bird helped me with my reading, because there was a term I needed to use. I couldn't think of it, but the term was red herring. And this bird, I couldn't take my eyes off of it, and it's a red herring. And it's here. The birds love me. I love the birds. They're always around me, especially where I live. Owls, bats, birds. But this red bird, they are always in my sight when I do readings on dead people. Birds are messengers. I'm an air sign. A messenger. Kendrick, is there anything that you would like to say in closing? Is there anything that you would like people to know or hear from you? The world has its opinions. The world has its opinions and their thoughts. What does Kendrick have to say? Kendrick, speak. You don't want to speak? This fell out, but I'm just going to shuffle a little bit more and see what else comes out. That almost looks like I have nothing more to say. The Page of Wands in reverse. Kendrick, do you have anything else to say? The Five of Wands again. Every time I have pulled cards from this deck during this reading, this card has been in there. Every single time you guys have seen me pull cards, this has come out. Kendrick says, I know that they said that it was an accident, but it was a fight. They jumped me. What's on the bottom? Over a girl. She's been in here too. The Queen of Cups. He was heartbroken over a girl because she turned him down. She let him go. She broke up with him. She, this Queen of Cups, Ace of Swords in reverse, Two of Pentacles in reverse. I think she had been maybe going back and forth a little bit, overlapping their relationships. Maybe while she wasn't completely out of a relationship with the white boy, she was still talking to Kendrick, but she broke up with the white boy. And he felt like she broke up with him for Kendrick. It was a fight. Okay, well, let's see about this fight. Seven of Cups. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Temperance. I had no idea they were going to kill me. I didn't even really want her. I didn't even really like her like that. That's what he's saying. I didn't even really like her like that. I didn't even really want her. But he had no idea that that fight was going to lead to his death. I don't think that they even had an idea that he was going to die like that. You know, they wanted to fuck him up, but let me check this. Seven of Cups. Four of Swords. Three of Wands. There it is again. He had no idea. Like, he just wasn't. He just wasn't looking to really, like, be in a real situation with this girl. Just having fun. Actually, I think he just might have wanted to hit it. He just wanted to hit it. That's all. He wasn't planning on wifing this little girl up. What came out? Another card that comes out, the Seven of Wands. It usually comes out in reverse. But I think I was getting ready to look into this Empress in reverse. That's what I was shuffling for, and he fell out. So absolutely. On the bottom. Kendrick, did you hit it and quit it with this girl? Kendrick. Okay. All right. This is starting to get a little bit more interesting because Kendrick, all right, you guys. This is messy. I thought I was about to wrap this up, but I don't know. Because this girl, Kendrick, had sex with her, but then started acting funny with her. Didn't really want her seriously like that. She, however, wanted something serious with Kendrick. So, you got this girl who was dating the white boy, but was really liking Kendrick. Now, I still don't know if she cheated on the white boy with Kendrick, if her and the white boy were on a break and she hooked up with Kendrick, but she really liked Kendrick, especially after he hit it. But that's all he wanted, and that pissed her off. So now I'm trying to see if she went and told the white boy what happened, or if he just knew and thought that Kendrick needed to go because he had caused both of them problems. So I want to ask, Kendrick, was there a girl involved in the beef that you had with this boy? Was there a girl involved? And if it was, show her to me. Show me her. Was there a girl involved in this? And what was her involvement, if it was? Was there a girl involved? You know, as I shuffle these cards, I almost feel like they're all trying to leave my hand, and I'm trying to like keep a good grip on them. And I feel like that's how this girl was, like that white boy. You know, he was always trying to hold on to her, but something tells me she was a little hot tamale. Was a girl involved, Kendrick? Look at this Queen of Pentacles in reverse. I asked if it was a girl involved, and here she go. Selfish little thing. Only thinks about herself and what she can get. He never should have messed with her. Alright. Here's the girl that was involved, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. She's selfish. She's selfish. She thinks about herself. She's greedy. You know, anybody that she deals with, it's about her, what they can do for her, which is why she's bouncing around between these two boys, not caring about the chaos that's ensuing because of it. Because all she's thinking about is herself. Little hot tamale. I'm surprised the Queen of Wands in reverse didn't come out for her, but... Alright, let's clarify this Queen of Pentacles in reverse. I don't want to spend too much time on her. The damn devil. The Lovers in reverse. The Six of Swords. Like I said, look. The fight. Again, on the bottom of the deck. Like I said, guys, I don't be needing these cards. However, I read them for you. The fight happened because this Queen of Pentacles in reverse and this little messy affair situation she has going on. Let's look at the devil. I'm about to wrap this up after this. Let's look at the devil. It was sex. He didn't want anything more than her vagina. And then, ooh, a lot of cards fell out. I'm not going to take all of these. I'm going to put them back in the deck and keep shuffling. This is a little hot tamale. This is her energy. She's got my cards flying all out. You know, she doesn't even have respect for my space. Little hot tamale girl, you will not have my cards flying all over the place. You will not cause chaos in my deck, in my hands. While you are in my hands, you will calm your nerves, little girl. Little hot tamale. She doesn't like to be controlled. She doesn't like to be told what to do. Me. Alright. I'm clarifying the Six of Wands in reversed. There's this fight again. And there's just bad shit happening. It was because of her. It was because of her. Because Kendrick was, they were having sex together, but that's all he wanted from her. That made her bitter. Let me just ask a question. Okay, let me put all of these back except for her, because now I want to talk to her. I'm going to put them back, and I'm going to mix them up. Because now I'm not talking to Kendrick directly, or I'm talking to Kendrick, but I want to know about her. As a matter of fact, I don't know her name. Kendrick, thank you for speaking to me. Thank you for telling me your truth. Thank you for bringing this girl into this reading. I don't know her name, but thank you. And you do not have to stay in this energy with her. You are free to leave. Little girl, I don't know your name, so I'm going to call you the girl in the middle. The girl in the middle. I'm calling the energy of the girl in the middle of the beef between Kendrick and those boys who fought him. I'm calling the energy of the girl in the middle of the beef between Kendrick and those boys who fought him. What did you do? What did you say to lead these boys to want to attack Kendrick? Speak your truth, girl in the middle. Speak your truth here. Speak your truth. What did you do or what did you say that led those boys to want to attack Kendrick? What did you say or what did you do? Girl in the middle of the beef. What did you say or what did you do? Justice. 8 of Wands. Ace of Wands in reverse. In my mind, I was doing the right thing by saying what I said, but I shouldn't have. Because I know that I'm white, and I know that he was black, and I knew what they would do to him. That's what I hear. But I want to clarify this Ace of Wands in reverse. So just give me a second. Yeah. Page of Wands. 3 of Swords in reverse. 5 of Pentacles. She told them that he basically led her on, hit it and quit it, and then abandoned her. And that angered them. She liked Kendrick. He didn't like her like that. She had genuine feelings for Kendrick. He didn't like her like that. It was just sex for him. And after he got it, he didn't really want anything to do with her. And that's what she told them. But I want to look into this Page of Wands because I want to know, what exactly did you say? Seven of Cups in reverse. The Hermit. 3 of Wands, the Moon, weren't sure what the investigators would find. All right. It almost feels like she's related to one of those boys and wasn't dating them, but was related to one of them. Let me ask that before I go, because I saw a family in there not approving. Was this girl a family member of one of those boys, or was she a girlfriend of one of those white boys? Was she a family member of one of those boys, or was she a girlfriend of one of those boys? Let's see. A friend of the family. The Emperor in reverse. I'm gonna have to go back and look and see if the boys who were accused have sisters that go to school with them too, that are around about their age. And if not a sister, who they were dating. No, this doesn't look like a sister. It could be. I can't say for sure. No, I see the Lovers in reverse. And the family. She shouldn't be. I think that this was a little love triangle. I don't think that it was a relative. But there is family and community involved in this, because I constantly saw the Ten of Pentacles. And I want to say that it is community and race more than family. It's about white people sticking together for each other in that community in Valdosta, Georgia. Now, mind you, my Tamala Harsford reading took place in Forsyth, Georgia. Black people, please. You know, I know what you guys are doing in Atlanta, making it the new Black Hollywood, but at what cost, though? You know, I just recently rode through there on my way to Tennessee last weekend for our little mini vacation in the Smokies, and riding through there, I can hear all kind of Negro spirituals in my mind. So much history, painful history, traumatic history, and like some of the buildings, the shacks that are still up on those fields and plantations, like, just imagine your relatives having to live there and the conditions that they were living under. That energy is all through those southern states. I felt that energy in Georgia. I felt that energy in Alabama. I felt that energy in the Carolinas. Where we were in the Smokies, I guess because we were so in the mountains, you can't really feel that collective traumatic energy because it was blocked off by all the mountain. But I'm sure in other areas of Tennessee, I might have felt something like that there. But the community in Georgia, this is about white people sticking together for themselves and maintaining their communities, their lineage in their communities, the history of their communities. This is a good old boy system. The GBI, the detectives involved, the law enforcement, the medical examiner's office, all of it is a good old boy system, and they are all working together. And I think that Kendrick's family realized that sometime while they were already in their lawsuit, which is why they withdrew it, because they realized what they were up against. They realized that they weren't going to get justice through the justice system because they were all together. And they ended up having to pay these people who covered up the murder of their sons. This is disgusting. This is probably one of the worst readings I've ever done. And that's because of the amount of injustice. Like, you know, I'm used to reading cases where the victims don't get justice. Their killers are never found or, you know, charged. But it's one thing like that. But when the killers not only get away with it, but then take the victims and make them pay for the crimes that they committed, you've got to have or not have a soul for your conscience not to kick in at some point. And I have my own theories about, you know, certain groups of their race and their lack of soul. It's disgusting because the Johnson family was made to pay these people because they knew they weren't going to win that lawsuit in court when they were up against the good old boy system. From the GBI on down to the medical examiner's office, all of them worked together to keep their community intact. So I'm not going to pull any more cards because I'm finished with this reading, but I would love to leave some closing words for us as Black people, us as Africans in America, even for Africans everywhere in the world, because what happens here in the West, if it hasn't reached the part of the world that you inhabit, it will. It will. Because as other races become more desperate for resources to sustain themselves, they will continue to focus on Africa and its people. And they will continue and even ramp up. Their survival instincts are going to kick in while we are still here trying to be friends with them, trying to infiltrate their systems and institutions and play by their rules. We don't understand that these people are in survival mode while we are here not even fully aware of the battle that we're in, that we are the center of. And why? If we knew the why, then that would help us wake up a little bit more. And I don't mean the woke that is woke as we know it today. I mean, once we become aware of our position in this spiritual and biological warfare, then we won't always be so thirsty to infiltrate, rather than going to where we are accepted, where we were accepted, going to find a place of our own and create our own establishments. It ain't just about creating our own businesses here in the West, because we are still in their system trying to establish ourselves in a system that was not created for us to flourish. And even the strides that we've made today are not going to sustain us here, because we are building within their system. And they built that system. They know it better than we do. We can't fight using their weapons. We have to fight using our weapons. So once we decide to reject their deposit, reject their system, even if it's all we know, and decide we don't mind starting over and building again. We've done it time and time again, and we'll do it again. But this time, we know better. This time, we're going to not forget what those people have done to us, and not be so willing to be so accepting. We are going to let them have their systems and go back and reinvest in our own. It will be hard work, but I'd rather work hard with my people in a land that was given to us by God itself than work hard in a land, in a system, and with the people who are set on destroying us. I would rather go and rebuild the bonds that were broken between our brothers and our sisters in our land, in our motherland. I would rather go and live primal for a while we rebuild ourselves stronger, better, and wiser, united. Rather than try to do that here, you know what I'm saying, in the lion's den. And that is where I'm going to leave that in closing, because I feel like that's not just my message, but that is Kendrick's message. After what he experienced and the trauma that led up to his death, and what he's learned since his death. He feels like if he didn't grow up in Georgia, he might not have been interested in white girls. But it's the system, it's the mentality, the energy that is in Georgia. No matter how many strides we took, no matter how many strides we've made, the energy, the system is still intact. The trauma there created an energy, a system there that is still intact. And the energy is what needs to be destroyed. But you can't do that, because it's the energy that has your mind still enslaved. And Kendrick, now that he's out of this realm, can see things so much more clear. He's been paying attention to the things that has happened as a result of his death. He's been paying attention, and he's been learning on the other side. He's been mentored on the other side by those that came before him. Black men from times before him have been mentoring him. And I feel that when and if Kendrick decides to re-enter this realm in another form, he will come back way different than he was. He will come back a fighter for his people, because he can see things so much more clearer now, and he feels like it is the energy in Georgia that ultimately took his life, because otherwise he wouldn't been messing with white girls that he didn't even want to settle down with. He wouldn't have married a white girl. He was just fucking them. Sorry, YouTube. He was just screwing them, having relations with them. And if he wasn't in Georgia with that mentality of black men lusting after white women who are still products of the Jim Crow era, then his life would have been different. And I would like to say, Kendrick, since I pulled on his energy, he did not invite me to it. I asked him here. I would like to say that I don't judge you. I don't judge you. I do not sit in the seat of judgment. I pray that you get the justice that you deserve, because no matter who you dated, no matter who you lusted after, no matter who you slept with, it should not have cost you your life. It should not have cost your family the trauma that they experience afterwards in their quest for justice for you. May you get justice. May your family get justice. And may all the men who stand with you in the other realm, mentoring you and helping you through your trauma, may they get justice. May every black, brown person who died unjustly at the hands of racism, may they all get justice. May our ancestors get justice. May we get justice. But we've got to learn. We've got to learn what justice looks like for us, so that we don't keep fighting for a false sense of justice. Love you guys, and thank you for being here. Remember, all of this is for entertainment purposes. You all can take what I have said with a grain of salt, throw it in your food, cook it and eat it, or none of this is real. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this entertaining video that was made all of my metaphysical opinions. Enjoy. And I will be praying for Kendrick and his family. Bye.